well. We had a great start to the day, had a little early morning craft session with our friends, which was lovely. Beautiful start to the day, truly, truly. And now baby boy is napping, and I'm going to just make a cannoli cake before 10 a.m. Well, that's in 5 minutes, but we're gonna start to make a cannoli cake because this evening we're having a little Italian dinner night at our friend Liz and Sean's house. So we're in charge of desserts. Thankfully, Brandon got me this gorgeous cookbook at the beginning of the year, and it was fun to flip through it this weekend and pick out what we wanted to make. We've only made one recipe from this cookbook so far. We made the biscotti, which were insanely good. And I wanted to pick out something that was very Italian, but had that like savory, for me, chocolatey stuff like feels like savory dessert. I just love chocolate desserts, but I wanted something that was just like really screamed Italian, but it also has a little bit of a twist. That's the whole point of this book. It's called American Baking with an Italian Accent. So we're gonna make this cannoli cake. I love how it has pistachios on the frosting. First of all, it's ricotta frosting with pistachios sprinkled on top, and that just feels really quintessential of our time in Italy because we just were always getting pistachio flavored things or desserts with pistachio on them. So here's our inspo. Hopefully ours will look that absolutely beautiful. So I want to just start working on this because I will have a little bit of time if I need to run to the grocery store if we have any snafus. So I figured we could go ahead, get a start on it, and hope for the best. I'm excited to try it. Smells absolutely divine. I'm so excited to eat it later. I'm just gonna wait to make the frosting until like right before we leave because we don't have room in our fridge to keep the whole cake, and it has ricotta and like fresh ingredients. So no rush on the frosting. And then I did pick up some decaf ground coffee so that we can make little decaf espresso shots with our mocha pot. My friend Faith got this for me when her and her family went to Italy probably like 8 years ago. So I've had this for so long. I used to use it all the time, but I don't use it as much anymore, but it's so fun and perfect for like a little single shot of espresso. So that'll just be fun to experiment with later too. Then I got a little hostess gift for our friends. So I want to make a little tag for that. But in the meantime, I was going to do some gardening because I ordered a trellis, an arched trellis for our pumpkins specifically because these vines are growing astronomically. I'm not even being dramatic when I say they grow at least a foot and about half a foot to a foot a day. That's how long they're growing. But the weather is looking a little questionable. I checked the forecast, which it's essentially pointless to check the forecast in Florida this time of year because it just changes on a dime. So checked the forecast, said it was gonna rain, and it's looking a little cloudy, so probably just save that for another day. But time's a ticking because I really want to start training the vines to grow vertically, and that'll just give us more growing space. Speaking of espresso, trellis looks a little wonky because I stretched it a little farther than intended, but thankfully it feels very stable, and once the vine continues to grow along it, you won't even notice. So I'm jazzed about that. Okay, now back to the cake. She's gorgeous. So excited to eat this tonight. Good morning. We are up and out bright and early. You can't even see my mini ears or my Mickey ears, but we're at Disney World. We're here for the day. We're going to explore and just enjoy the morning with our friends, and I'm so excited. My friend Faith and her kids are coming, so we're gonna see what the day brings. This is my first time bringing Wells solo to Disney. I've brought him with my mom and Brandon, but this is the first time a mommy-son adventure. So hoping for the best, hoping for a successful nap time on the go. What's this song again? Like,
I was just a kid when I met you, honey. Working on my daydreams. Down bed wishing you'd come and save me. If only I'd have a time machine back then. I'd see us dancing in the kitchen light. No, I thought we could ever make it. Didn't know time could move so fast. 10 years later and I'm still your baby. Hold tight, 'cause I know that we're changing, but I will be forever young in yours. Tell a story about you and me. I've always loved you, gonna love you like summer 15. Hold tight, 'cause I know that we're changing, but I will be forever young in yours. Tell a story about you and me. Oh, how I loved you, gonna love you like summer 15. We were always living for the weekend.
wow.
Painting pictures, you and me.
Done it.
Late night drives, music loud, ours were speaking. Close my eyes and I was dreaming.
Hello, hello. I owe you a Disney update. We had such a fun morning after we came home from Disney. We got there right when it opens, and then we stayed until like 1:30. And as soon as we got home, baby boy took a long nap, which was glorious. We cleaned up and just relaxed. So that was fabulous. It was just such a delight. I love Animal Kingdom in general because I just love seeing all the animals, of course, but it's very lush. There's lots of trees, it's shady, so it felt like the perfect place for a summer day. And this morning even too, it hasn't felt as hot as it typically does in Florida, which we're just soaking that up. It's been a little breezy, so it's been delightful. And tomorrow's the 4th, just like that, July 4th. So I can't believe it's July, first of all. So tomorrow our plan is we're gonna have a little family day. We're gonna go see a lighthouse. We're gonna go, I don't think we're gonna go to the beach, but we're gonna go to just like the riverfront or the bay and look at the boats, the sailboats, and at the lighthouse there's a maritime museum. So we're gonna check out the museum too and just enjoy a day outside pretty much. Get some yummy food and coffee. And speaking of coffee, I have been seeing this online where people put little to-go lattes in these adorable jam jars, which we've done in just regular jars, but I picked up these adorable jam jars because the red gingham just feels so summery, so Americana. So I'm gonna essentially take the jam out of these jars and save the jam, which while we're doing that, I want to make a little peanut butter and jelly toast on sourdough as a little snack. You want some too? A little dinosaur over here. That just sounds delightful. And then we're gonna make lattes, to-go lattes in these jars. That's the plan at least. I've never, well, again, I've done it in a mason jar, but my plan is to do 1 shot of espresso in each jar. And I'm even playing with the idea of adding some of the strawberry preserves or the wild blueberry preserves within the latte. So we'll see. I don't know, I'm debating. Maybe, I love just like a honey latte, so we'll see. Also, I love how I'm saying these are Americana when these jams are made in France. But you know what I mean, the red gingham just feels right. This is about to be so scrumptious. Peanut butter. I think I'm gonna do a combo of strawberry and blueberry jam, or preserves. Yum. Strawberry side first. So nostalgic. I just think of an Uncrustable, but this is better. I already took a sip, but the experience is delightful. Taking off the jar. Fabulous. For the blueberry one that I made for us, it's a little less coffee because originally I was going to pull 2 separate shots, so do 2 shots but then pull them separately so that they are perfectly even. But to simplify my life, I just did a double shot and then tried to divvy it out evenly, but clearly I didn't do that great of a job. But I put some of the blueberry preserves in here, so let's see if we even taste it. I wanted to like see some of the blueberry in it, so I added it at the end, but to really get that flavor profile, I would have brewed the espresso over the blueberry preserve so that the heat of it would kind of melted it, made it more melty and liquefy and kind of blend the flavors. So just a little note if you end up wanting to recreate this. Still yummy, but too milky. Like this color is not right for my iced coffee. So that was really fun though. I definitely will be doing that again, especially for like a little outing where you want to take a coffee instead of using a standard to-go cup. Put it in a little jar and brighten up your day. Monday now, just like that. I have just taken you through all these random moments throughout the week, but I hope you've been enjoying this vlog. I was about to make sourdough crackers. I love to make cheesy sourdough crackers with our sourdough discard, but I just am not in the mood to make them, and usually I'm like really so excited to eat them, but not really in the mood to eat them anyways. So I was trying to think what to do with the discard because I like to utilize it if I can. And I remembered that people have talked about putting it in your garden because it has, you know, the live cultures and the bacteria, so it can be used as a soil amendment. So that's what I'm gonna do instead of make crackers. I'm gonna dilute it pretty heavily with water and then just water the garden with it. But that being said, like, I haven't needed to water the garden in weeks, it feels like, because it just rains so much. It's a time of year where it like basically rains too much. It drowns out some of the plants, but it's fine. We're gonna let nature do its thing, but we're gonna give it a little snack with the sourdough starter discard. But the Lighthouse day was so lovely. It was warm, but it was wonderful. We haven't been to that lighthouse before, and we didn't know what to expect fully. We kind of thought it would just be like a little pit stop, you know, go up to the lighthouse, but it was a lot more extensive of a visit than we anticipated. I think we spent close to 3 hours there. There was a ton of different like they had little buildings that were like little mini museums with really valuable and just interesting information. They're maritime museums, so a lot of just fascinating tidbits about the history of the lighthouse as well as just life at sea. So that was really wonderful. We couldn't take our baby up to the lighthouse, so Brandon and I just switched off and climbed up and did a little switcheroo, but it was wonderful. I'm really thankful we decided to do that. I could even see that becoming a tradition of some sort. I actually would like to visit again in the winter time and spend even more time at the museum. There was a lot of like outdoor areas to enjoy and play around into, and the playground, so it was really nice. And then last night I had a friend's birthday party, which was also really fun and sweet. And today we're just having one of those days where we have church later, and then we're gonna garden, a little family garden session. I often get asked, like, what do you do about weeds in the garden? And truly, we just pick them. Like, unfortunately, I don't have a good hack besides pulling them out one by one. But thankfully, like, if you do it a little by little, and Brandon and I work together to do it, it doesn't feel, and we don't have a huge backyard and garden where weeds grow. So it seems manageable. So we're gonna do that later. Working on laundry, I think I already said that, but it's been a really lovely week, and this upcoming week we're getting ready to celebrate our son's first year of life as well as just our first year of parenthood. I feel just so incredibly thankful, and it's been such a beautiful time to reflect. And I'm setting up quite a bit of like little crafts and stuff for his birthday and his party, but I'm also making sure to like work in that time to just reflect and rest and think of it all, because it's definitely a huge milestone and something we're celebrating. And yeah, I mean, this time last year we were about to like have quite a long stint at the hospital, because if you didn't know, I ended up giving birth over a month early, and I had pregnancy complication near the end. So I have my birth story on my website and a little video about it, but it definitely still is something that I just like will continuously, probably my whole life, will like need to like reflect about and think through and just like heal from in a way. But also it's just like so special too, because our son, like that's all I can say. It's just, we're so thankful. So I will have a video soon with a bunch of crafting, a bunch of like little DIYs that we're working on. I'm gonna give you a sneak peek of one that I was working on yesterday. So this shirt is for me, actually, as his mother. I'm gonna wear it probably on his actual birthday, if not before. But it's this little like quilted letter shirt. I still have to sew in the S, but it says his name. And I basically cut out the letters out of little patches of fabric, and then I've just been sewing it onto the shirt. And I'm really excited about it. I think it's adorable. So that's one thing I've been working on yesterday. I love to have a craft like that where I can work on it like as he's playing nearby or while he's napping. It's just so nice to have something like that. I really enjoy it. But anyways, I'm gonna stop. I feel like I'm forgetting something that I wanted to talk about this week. I mean, I gave you a recap of after the Lighthouse stay, once we came home, I ended up watching the movie The Light Between Oceans. I read the book probably 3-4 years ago, and being at the Lighthouse reminded me of the book, and I was like, wait, I think they made a movie about it too. And so I ended up watching that to stick with the Lighthouse theme. It was incredibly sad, which I already knew what it was about, which please, like, before you watch it, like, make sure you know what you're getting yourself into, because it's very heart-wrenching. So I had some tears at the end of the night. I haven't watched a movie in so long, actually. So it was nice to watch, but also really sad. But anywho, I'm gonna stop chit-chatting and I will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you and yours are well, and I'm excited to see you next. Bye.